you know the situation? Christmas is coming, you have to buy a ton of presents and you don't have money and have to get them with your credit card. If that happened to you, stay tuned. I show you how to overcome your budgeting problems in this video. Before starting, I have to say this is a huge topic and we are gonna take a deeper look at it in the next videos. But this video is to get you started and avoid that you end up again in the garage of your mom. So first thing first, why is budgeting so important? Well, it will help you set your financial goals, track your expenses, and make informed decisions about allocating your resources. Budgeting helps you to stay on top of your bills, avoid overspending, and prevent debt. So budgeting is the key tool for achieving financial stability and security so that at the end of the year, you still have money to spend on presents, buy that new things you want, and allow you to go on vacations. With all that said, though, it is important to make a realistic budget that fits your wallet. Of course, if you're making 30K a year, you can't pretend to buy the latest iPhone, the latest Mac, and the latest iPad within 2 months. But you can see how much you are spending and how much you can save. So we come to the first action plan. Track your spending so you know where your money is going. I always recommend splitting your yearly expenses from your monthly payments. For example, there are things you pay once a year in an annual subscription and things you pay monthly. It is important to find the yearly subscriptions because to see how much people spend, they usually look at the last month. But there might be yearly subscriptions where you didn't pay the previous month. Once you have your yearly expenses, you have to divide them by 12 and the result added to your monthly expenses. The amount coming out of that is your total monthly spending. Does it make sense? Now the question is, what should you put in your monthly expenses? Well, there's a common rule of thumb that says that you should allocate 50% of your income to the needs or must-have. Actually, people usually call them fixed costs. Still, I don't like the term because Netflix is a fixed cost, but definitely it's not something you need. Yeah, believe me, you don't need Netflix. Then after the 50%, you will have the 30% of your income in what you want, like vacation, Netflix, dining out, and then the 20% in saving on paying debt off. However, I don't like that split. First, I recommend or advise to use the 25% into your debt paying or investment or saving, because those 5% they make a huge difference with the time, and you will see later in this video how we can also use those 5%. Your housing cost should be lower than 25-30% of your income depending where you live, and by housing cost I mean rent, mortgage, electricity, internet, and so on. Then there are cost of living expenses, which include groceries, healthcare, education, and personal care items. This should be around 25%. Then there is a question you have to answer. How high is your transportation cost? Transportation costs include public transportation tickets, but also car payments, gas, and insurance. Of course, if you have a car, the transportation cost will be higher than if you don't. And in any case, the transportation cost should be less than 10%. In the US, it's common to have a car because the public transportation infrastructure actually could be way better. But if you're living in a big European city, probably you don't need a car. And there is the question, where does the rest go? And that's the cool thing about this system, because you can use the rest in whatever you want. You already pay your must-have, you already pay your cost of living, so the rest is just the fun stuff. Then, assuming that my example in the video relates to you, you have around 20% to spend on the fun stuff. I recommend having a cool fund where you allocate between 5 and 10% of your fun stuff. Then you use that fund for bigger things like paying your vacation or buying presents for Christmas. If you already know which expenses you will have, like, I don't know, you need 4K for your holidays and 500 for gifts, then you can have a goal for your cool fund. But wait a moment. What about the emergency fund everyone is talking about? You remember that extra 5% we allocate in the 25% for saving and investing, like back in the beginning? Well, until you have the emergency fund completed, you should put the 5% into the emergency fund. And how big should the fund be? Well, it depends on you. But if you're employed in Europe, with 3 months of notice periods, which is normal here, the 3 months of your needs plus the cost of living expenses is enough. If you are employed but you don't have 3 months of notice period, then you should aim for at least 6 months. And if you are self-employed, your emergency fund should be 1 year of needs plus cost of living expenses. And in the end, it should look something similar to this. 25% for savings and investing, 5% of those to the emergency fund until you pay it, 20% debt and investing, 75% for expenses, 25% for needs, 25% for cost of living, 5% for transportation, like in my case, and then you will have 20% for your wants, where 10% go to the monthly ones and 10% for those bigger ones. So now that we know where to allocate your income, the second question arises, when? And spoiler, you don't start with the wants. So the first thing you do is to pay off your debts, then send investment money to the investment accounts. Your bank will have like an option for doing this automatically. And finally, pay the needs. Ideally, you also pay the cost of living as soon as you can and send the money to a separate account for the bigger ones. Lastly, you can spend the money you still have in your bank as you want. And here's another pro tip. Take the total annual expenses that we broke into monthly costs in the beginning and send the monthly amount to a second account. That way, when you have to pay the annual fee, you will already be waiting for that and the payment won't interfere with your current plan. Another question I get a lot is whether to pay the debt before or investing before. You know, like when you have a debt, if you should invest or if you should take the money from investment into the debt. So as a rule of thumb, if you have that question, please pay your debt off first of investing. And for paying debt, check out my next video that is coming next week, because they are gonna do like a deep dive into how to pay debt, either to pay debt or invest. So check it out. So remember to subscribe and activate the notification thing so that you can catch the next video. And if you like the video so far and the content so far, there is a like button that helps me know that I'm doing a good job. So moving forward, when you already have your budget set, the next things to do is to try to lower your costs. So to finalize, remember that budgeting is a process. You have to adapt to it. Try to review your budget once every 3 months or something, once in a quarter, so that you can adjust it accordingly. If you have any questions, just comment here below, as well as if you want to listen to a particular topic. Thanks for watching, and remember, never give up and try to be the best version of yourself. Check out.